welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to a new cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, and here is a quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. The federal government has announced the removal of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) requirement for candidates seeking admission into Nigeria's Certificate in Education (NCE) programs in colleges of education. This was disclosed by Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Lausa during the 2026 JAMB policy meeting in Abuja. Under the new admission guidelines, applicants will now only need a minimum of 4 O-level credits in relevant subjects to qualify for entry into NCE programs. Persons living with disabilities in Nigeria have been urged to move beyond participation as voters and begin actively contesting for political offices across the country. The call was made by the convener of Able to Run Electability Campaign, Dr. Jake Epele, at the launch of the campaign held in Abuja. The convener, who is also the Chief Executive Officer of TAF Africa, stated that the campaign is aimed at promoting political inclusion as well as leadership opportunities for persons with disabilities. Mukhtar Qasim was there for us.
TAF Africa says the Able to Run campaign is designed to encourage more persons with disabilities to participate directly in governance and decision-making process in Nigeria. The organization says despite existing laws and policies promoting inclusion, many persons with disabilities still face barriers in accessing political opportunities and leadership positions. Chief Executive Officer of TAF Africa, Dr. Jake Epele, says persons with disabilities are demanding genuine inclusion, equity, and a stronger voice in Nigeria's political space.
First of all, the community of persons with disability have come of age. We started in the electoral process by voting. Now we want to be voted for. I don't want to preempt the political parties, whoever they would put forward, either by consensus or by primaries. We want to believe that persons with disability will be part of it. But if it's not, I know that many of them can still do a last-minute adjustment. Please adjust so that persons with disability will be one of your candidates.
To actively pursue leadership roles in Nigeria, participants at the event also stressed the importance of stronger representation for persons with disabilities in politics, saying inclusion must go beyond symbolic recognition. They called on political parties and government institutions to create more opportunities for qualified persons with disabilities to contest and hold political offices.
Yes, like in 2023, when I contested, it encouraged more PWD to even come out in this 2027 to contest in different political parties. And I believe some political parties are still selling their forms, and I believe most of them will get the tickets.
Persons with disability are able and capable to participate in an electoral system. So it is not a thing of pity, it's a thing of being able. They are intellectually capable to contest, run for election.
A program like this is like a wake-up call for government, for political parties, and for us also, persons with disabilities, to be able to know what we need to do in times like this. But the political space is not really very inclusive of persons with disability.
My message to people with disability is that we are able to run. There is ability in every of our disability. It's not in your disability, it's in your capacity. And we have men and women who are able to lead, to run, and to direct in this nation.
The Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, also expressed support for greater political inclusion of persons with disabilities, noting that democratic participation should extend beyond voting to occupying elective positions. Mukhtar Qasim, Global TV News.
Many thanks to you, Mukhtar. Niger State's Governor Mohamed Bago has bid farewell to the first batch of intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia for the 2026 Hajj exercise in the state's capital, Mina. Sadia Yakubu has more.
The governor addressed the 345 intending pilgrims, comprising 227 males and 118 females, drawn from Chanchaga and Bargu local government areas of the state, calling on them to be good ambassadors of the state throughout their pilgrimage. The governor also advised them not to receive any item from strangers, to keep and to ensure they protect their belongings. He enjoined them to always drink water to hydrate their bodies. He tasked them to pray for themselves, for the peace in Nigeria, Niger State, and for their families while in the Holy Land, and wish them a safe trip and successful Hajj exercise.
Wish them safe journey to the Holy Land. We've also wished them a successful Hajj, and they should pray for Nigeria, pray for Niger State, and pray for themselves and their families. And again, we caution them against being couriers to people. They shouldn't take anything for anybody.
The 2026 Niger State Amir al-Hajj and Emir of Agay, Yusuf Noor, described the Hajj preparations as satisfactory.
The preparations are quite in order, and we are doing well. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take the pilgrims, all of us, to the Holy Land, perform the Hajj, and come back safely.
He enjoined the intending pilgrims to obey the laws of Saudi Arabia throughout their stay in the Holy Land. Some of the intending pilgrims in an interview commended the Hajj officials for wonderful preparations and promised to pray to Allah for an end to insecurity in Nigeria and parts of Niger State.
Feel comfortable and gracious to Almighty Allah that make me include in this flight. So Alhamdulillah with that. Inshallah, by grace of God, I will try my possible best to pray for the nation, the Nigeria country, inshallah ta'ala, for the peace, security, insecurity that we are facing, and inshallah with the progress.
I'm happy to be here because I'm going to visit Manza Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'm happy to be here. So I'm wishing all the people inside this plane fine. So may Allah help us to go and perform all our prayers very well. We try a lot, especially Chanchaga local government.
Niger State is said to have a total of 2,281 intending pilgrims for the 2026 Hajj exercise, and they are to be airlifted in 6 DMM flights scheduled to end on Sunday. Sadia Yakubu, Global TV News.
We appreciate your reporting, Sadia. In the meantime, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has secured official approval and operational licenses from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Health for its clinics and medical outposts established to serve Nigerian pilgrims during the 2026 Hajj exercise. The licenses received authorize the Commission's medical teams to commence healthcare services for pilgrims in the Kingdom. The Commission disclosed this in a statement released, noting that the facilities were strategically established to provide primary healthcare services, including medical consultations, first aid, and treatment of minor ailments for Nigerian pilgrims. The Commission added that pilgrims requiring specialized or secondary healthcare services would be referred to accredited Saudi medical facilities, including King Fahd Hospital and other designated hospitals within the Kingdom. Zamfara State Government has approved an upward review of pension for states and local government retirees, saying the move is aimed at improving the welfare of senior citizens and rising living costs. The approval was disclosed in a statement signed by the Commissioner for Information and Culture, Mahmoud Dantawasa. The statement revealed that the decision followed recommendations submitted after a comprehensive review conducted by a special committee and the Office of the Accountant General, which assessed the condition of pensioners, particularly those in the lower income brackets. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has disclosed that the by-election for Zuru constituency would be conducted on 20th June 2026. Kebbi State Resident Electoral Commissioner Abubakar Dambo said the development followed Kebbi State House of Assembly's request to conduct the election, which was communicated to the Commission's national headquarters as scheduled for June. Briefing newsmen after a stakeholders meeting, Dambo said the by-election is to fill the vacuum created by the recent death of the member representing the constituency, Mohammed Usman Zuru, in Cairo after a protracted illness. Let's turn to Nigeria Southeast now, where Governor of Imo State and Chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum, Hope Uzodimma, has urged foreign governments, investors, and development partners to deepen engagement with Nigeria. He said the economic reforms of President Bola Tinubu have established the economy and opened new investment opportunities in the country. The governor spoke during an interactive session between the Progressive Governors Forum and members of the diplomatic corps accredited to Nigeria in Abuja. He stated that Nigeria is experiencing a steady economic recovery under the renewed hope agenda driven by key reforms, including the removal of fuel subsidies and the floating of the naira. Former Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso says he and some leadership in the north did an assessment of potential allies before settling on Peter Obi as the most capable partner to prosecute the 2027 presidential campaign. He dismissed concerns about the hidden past struggle between his camp and Obi's. Kwankwaso made the disclosure in an interview offering one of his most detailed accounts yet of how the North-Southeast political alliance within the NDC was formed. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has pronounced a blanket ban on night mining, night grazing, as well as underage grazing across the state, effective immediately. Mutfwang made the pronouncement when he paid a sympathy visit to communities in Barakin Ladi and Bassa local government areas where suspected bandits had been staging attacks in the past 2 weeks, claiming several lives and leaving many families devastated. Mutfwang, who was accompanied by Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Bernard Doro, top government officials and other stakeholders, expressed his condolences to the bereaved families, reaffirming his administration's commitment to protecting lives and property across the plateau. The Nigerian Air Force has released footage of airstrikes carried out in Kusasu, Shiroro local government area of Niger State, showing suspected bandits attempting to cross a river with a canoe seen arriving at the gathering point. The incident followed an air operation in a settlement near Kusasu, where an unspecified number of civilians had reportedly been killed in the strike. Eyewitnesses estimating that at least 12 people lost their lives in a single residence. Troops of Operation Wellstroke have arrested 3 people suspected of helping terrorists during a raid in Karim Lamido local government area of Taraba State. The troops carried out coordinated raids on suspected terrorist hideouts in Binari, Chibi, and Andamin communities after receiving intelligence about criminal activities in the area. The 3 suspects are believed to have been supporting terrorist groups operating in the communities. The acting chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, in Osun State, Kazeem Oyewale, says he has concluded plans to sue Governor Ademola Adeleke and Commissioner for Information Kolakbo Alimi over alleged murder of his younger brother. Oyewale said he is also suing the state government because he was accused of masterminding the destruction of Accord Party's billboards across the state. The acting chairman, chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC, claims the actions of the governor were escalating political tension ahead of the 2026 governorship election. This is Global Television and you are watching News Cycle. The rest of the news continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories for you on the other side of this break. We urge you to stay with us.
Hello, welcome to Tuesday's weather forecast. The atmosphere is expected to be mostly calm with a mixture of clouds and sunshine to sunny skies in the northern states. But as the day progresses, moisture influx and atmospheric instability will trigger thunderstorm activities in parts of Taraba, Plateau, the Federal Capital Territory, Benue, the southeastern and the south-south region. And let's talk about temperatures. In the southern parts of the country, temperatures are gradually dropping. This is due to continuous rainfall activities in the region. In contrast, it's expected to be intensely hot in the northern states, particularly in parts of Borno and Yobe, where temperatures are peaking at 44 degrees Celsius. We advise remain well hydrated and wear light breathable clothing. That's the forecast. I am Theodora Itzum. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so very much for staying with us. The second part of this news broadcast now returns with business. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, has presented Nigeria's Blue Economy agenda at the Africa Forward Summit in Nairobi, Kenya, where he participated in a high-level panel discussion on the blue economy. Special advisor to the Minister of Media, Dr. Bolaji Akinola, made this known in a statement in Lagos State. Akinola said in the statement that the minister spoke on the topic blue economy, maritime sovereignty, and sustainable valorization. The minister noted that the summit brought together African leaders, policymakers, investors, and development partners to advance discussions on innovation, economic growth, and strategic partnerships across the continent. He also said the panel session featured the French Minister of the Sea and Fisheries, Catherine Chaboud, alongside other distinguished maritime stakeholders from across Africa. The federal government has intensified efforts to reposition Nigeria's cooperative sector with plans to establish the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria. The initiative was unveiled in Lagos State during the Southwest Zonal engagement of the Ministerial Advocacy Tour under the renewed Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program. In addition, it plans to launch a digital identity system aimed at expanding financial inclusion, boosting enterprise growth, as well as strengthening their economy. The National Assembly and the agricultural colleges and institutions have established or expressed readiness to collaborate on food security, research, and appropriate legislation. This was disclosed by the Senate Committee Chairman on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions, Sharafuddin Ali, during a press conference held at the State Secretariat of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. Ali explained that partnerships had already been initiated with development organizations to assist farmers with land preparation, cultivation, harvesting, and market access. The Nigerian Navy has disrupted attempts to establish a legal refining infrastructure and recovered a large cache of suspected illegally refined petroleum products in separate operations across Rivers State. This is contained in a statement by the Director of Naval Information, Navy Captain Abiodun Folorunsho. Folorunsho said the operations were conducted under Operation Delta Sentinel as part of ongoing efforts to curb crude oil theft and economic sabotage in the Niger Delta. President of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, is targeting a valuation of $50 billion for his Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals ahead of a planned stock market listing later this year. A senior executive at the Dangote Group confirmed that the projected valuation aligns with the company's current internal expectations, but declined to provide additional details on the planned transaction. The planned listing comes as stronger global crude oil policies and prices, as well as growing domestic fuel demand, improve the commercial outlook for the 650,000 barrels per day refinery, which has increasingly become a dominant player in Nigeria's downstream petroleum market. On the foreign scene, Uganda President Yoweri Museveni has been sworn in for a 7th consecutive term, extending his nearly 4-decade rule after securing victory in the country's disputed general elections. The 81-year-old leader, who first took power as a rebel commander in 1986, was inaugurated at the Kololo Independence Grounds in the capital, Kampala, amid tight security and heavy deployment of armored vehicles across the city. Election authorities say Museveni won more than 70% of the votes cast, with his new tenure expected to run until 2031. And still on the foreign scene, a suicide bomber in a 3-wheel vehicle laden with explosives has killed at least 9 people, wounding 34 others in northwest Pakistan. Reports by the senior police official Muhammad Sajjad Khan says the suspected suicide attacker approached the 2 traffic police officers stationed at the checkpoint before blowing himself up. The blast comes days after another suicide attack saw a car bomb detonate at a checkpoint in Banu before militants opened fire on police, killing at least 15 people. Pakistan's foreign ministry summoned the top Afghan diplomats in the country after concluding that the attacks were masterminded by terrorists residing in Afghanistan. President Donald Trump says he is ready to discuss United States arms sales to Taiwan during his visit to Beijing this week, as he suggested his personal relations with Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping would prevent a Chinese invasion of the island. The White House said Trump will bring along top United States executives during the visit. China says it hopes to achieve greater stability between the world's two largest economies during the visit, which is the first by a United States president since Trump went in 2017. Iran's chief negotiator has issued an ultimatum to the United States to accept the conditions in Tehran's 14-point proposal for peace in the Middle East war or face failure. The defiant message came after United States President Donald Trump had rejected the latest counteroffer from Iran, saying that a fragile ceasefire in place since April 8 was on life support. Iran's chief negotiator, Mohammed Bagher, says Washington has to accept Tehran's rights if it wants to end more than 2 months of conflict, as peace talks remain deadlocked after an initial round failed to produce a breakthrough last month. And now time to take a look at sports for you. Team Nigeria has emerged as the standout nation at the ongoing 2026 Confederation of African Cycling Paratrack and Track African Championships holding at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium Velodrome in Abuja. The championship has attracted top cyclists from across the continent, including Egypt, Kenya, South Africa, Algeria, and Nigeria. After 2 days of competition, Nigeria leads the medals table with an impressive haul of 16 medals made up of 9 gold, 5 silver, and 2 bronze medals. 3-time African champion Chukwuebuka Enekwechi will not be able to defend his shot put title at this year's Confederation of African Athletics Championships in Ghana after withdrawing from Nigeria's contingent. Enekwechi's absence was confirmed a day before the championship begins at the University of Ghana Sports Complex, where the event will run from May 12 to 17. His withdrawal leaves Nigeria with a lean lineup in the shot put events following the absence of women's African shot put record holder Jessica Oji. Nigeria's ambition to assemble a formidable basketball squad ahead of the 2028 Summer Olympics has received a major boost after 4 National Basketball Association players reportedly expressed their willingness to represent the Tigers following the appointment of David Fisdale as head coach. Fisdale, a former NBA head coach with the Memphis Grizzlies and New York Knicks, recently worked as an assistant coach with the Phoenix Suns between 2023 and 2025 before taking charge of Nigeria's men's national team. Basketball scout coach Hova revealed that Aaron Nesmith has already committed to representing Nigeria in the next international basketball window. And that's a full circle here on the news. As always, we would like to remind you that we are on DSTV channel 365 as well as on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using a Global TV NG. I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, and a big thank you to you for watching, and I will see you again.